Welcome back, the new and improved ILFL Soccer Night show with me, David Joseph, even wearing a lovely green shirt on this very warm day. Are you feeling it? I know the guys in the studio are. And as usual, it's a fight night between the two of them. On the red corner on my left is Rashid Ali, and in the blue corner on my right is Nanu Mia. And then you have me, and we're here to talk about everything that's happened and you've missed over the last 4-5 weeks. I hope you had a great Ramadan season. But now we get back to the Summer League season. That has been taking place over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Games have been going ahead. Some teams use it to blood their young players and to freshen up the squad. Some people now see it at this stage of the season as pre-season. So who's taking it seriously? Who's 50-50? And who's just here for a runabout? That's what we're going to talk about, the ILFL Summer League. Let me show you some of the results from yesterday's 3 fixtures. There are 10 teams taking part in the Summer League. Only 3 games took part yesterday. Here they are on your screen. Come on, make it work for me. Wait for me. Wait for me. It's not working. You see, we come back and some of the old problems are still here, so I'll tell you what happened. AMY drew 1-1 with what we think is an ever-improving Arsenal side. The Fish Islanders, you're getting better, but not against Robin Hood Tigers. Yesterday, you went down by 10 goals to 0. Ouch, sorry, I'll say it quieter next time. Wolverhampton Red Star in Italian, it almost looked like it was going to be a very entertaining 0-0 draw until Red Star nicked it in the end, and I know the Italians are kicking themselves because it was a game that they should have won and had buried in the first half. So what does that mean for the Summer League? Some teams have played 5 games, some have played 6, some teams haven't even played that much, but you know what? It makes for an exciting finish. I'll tell you who the top 4 teams are. St. Catherine's, the 2nd division champions, are now looking like they want to be Summer League champions. They are head in the pile with 13 points from 5 games, but Robin Hood Tigers, who started badly, are now trying to finish strongly. They've won 4 games on the bounce and are 2nd now with 12 points, equal on points, but they're better on goal difference from AMY who are in 3rd. And then Arsenal, well done to the boys in red and white. They are in 4th place on 10 points. 3 points separate 4 teams. I separate the 2 guys to my left and right as we now discuss what's going on. Rashid, welcome back.
Thank you, David.
Summer League, in London Football League style, how's it going?
Well, I think we're pleasantly surprised with St. Catherine's being top, so credit goes to them. Robin Hood Tigers, I think the expectation was higher, to be honest. I think they had a slow start. Normally they have a really strong start and they fade away at the end, or they seem to crack under the pressure. In this Summer League, they seem to be reversed. They had a bad start and they're now building momentum, which may put a bit more pressure. AMY, I must say, I'm very impressed. Obviously, they came into our season in the winter last year and they were a new team, but they're now, I think, building momentum. I think they're trying to establish them as a top side. So it's good to see that they're taking this Summer League seriously. So hopefully both Robin Hood Tigers and AMY put a bit more pressure and, you know, at least make sure maintain the league until the end of the season.
Nanu, let's break it down a little bit more with some of the teams. I'll start with, let's start with Arsenal, for example. I know their league form wasn't great, but hit and miss Winter League. They seem to have carried some of it into the Summer League, but I think by most people's accounts, they're looking at a much better football inside.
Absolutely, they are. I mean, it's one of those teams that I'm really, really impressed with. You know, they've got new players in. They're much larger. They've got much more composure. They're a lot stronger. They seem like they have a lot of experience as well, but they're not just quite there yet. I mean, I would say about a season ago, they were like 60-70%. Now they're about 90-95%. They just need that little 5 or 10% improvement, and I think that they're there. It's difficult to say now, but I think Arsenal, if they carry on in that direction, then I think they're going to be one of the more successful teams in the coming seasons.
Let's talk about Italian. I know we've had them on the show a couple of weeks before we broke for Ramadan. Another decent football inside, bunch of young guys trying to play football the right way. Results are not going their way right now, but you just think that if they get the first win...
It's hard to believe that they're sitting somewhere at the bottom, honestly, because they do play some really good footballing, and I have to admit they played the most attractive footballing as well. I mean, if you go and watch them play on the sides, and the way they communicate and the way they move the ball around, it's just absolutely amazing. It's just like you know, it's biggest belief to see them, you know, 9th position in the division. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, you know, what's just going to describe.
I think what you have to also add is it's a complete brand new team. It's not been established that long. It's only been a couple of months, actually. I think this is the first time they're playing in a league. I think the Summer League is the first time they got together. Few of the players, I think they played for Weavers in previous season, but for a brand new team to play in the way they're playing, I watched them yesterday, they were very, very unlucky to lose to Wolverhampton Red Star. Before the game, you'd have thought Red Star favourites, they're going to dominate, they'll win by 3-4 goals. But the Italian team, what I've seen yesterday was they got to be more resilience, determination, be more pride, be more hunger. And to gain the experience, they need to be established for a year or two before they can show their full potential. I think at this moment of time, they just lack that experience and one or two leaders in the team. In terms of drive and passion and work ethics and the footballing on the floor, it's there. It just needs time. So for a team which is only about 2-3 months old, playing the first time together, I think they're doing really well. It just needs that time to obviously be more successful in Summer League, Winter Leagues going forward. So they need to stick together. So if you're watching, keep the team as it is, keep progressing, keep playing, and you will be successful in the near future.
I remember last year in the Summer League, a lot of our talk was about the ever-improving and very impressive Lotus team that we had in the Summer League last season. And they went on to have a reasonably successful season in the Premier Division. St Catherine's, can they use this Summer League now as a platform to do well in the First Division next season?
I think back in their mind, they want to be back in the Premiership in the winter seasons. I think this summer will give them the confidence because a few years back they were in the Premiership before they got relegated to Division 1 and 2. And I think Martin and the boys will want to go back to playing with the big boys. So I think this is what they need. They've had a good winter season. If they can maintain that and win this Summer League itself, it'll give them a bit of confidence, a bit more momentum. And I think they want to be playing with the big boys in the Premiership in the winter season. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for them to obviously gain that confidence, get the momentum that they need in order to compete with the big boys in the Premiership in the winter seasons.
What have they done, Nana? Because I know you were involved with St Catherine's a couple of seasons ago. What has been the transformation? Because apart from their cup competitions, they're an unbeaten side. They haven't lost a league game.
I know they haven't.
Way back in September.
They remain consistent this time round. Previously, they had this rotation policy that never worked, and it went on for season after season. You know, and it took them a while to realize that it's not working. You know, so let's change tactics, and that's what they did. So they're very much more consistent now. They've got the same players. The players know where to play. Every week they come and they're in that same position, and that's how they perform. You know, they get better and better every week. And seeing St Catherine's up there, you know, it just shows that if you work hard, you can get there. And I wouldn't underestimate St Catherine's and how much they've improved, because you know you might think, okay, St Catherine's at the top, what are they doing? But look at teams like Hawk and Eagle, Ace, sitting somewhere at the bottom. This just shows how much difference is made. You know,
yeah. I think what you touched on is the stability, which is the key for St Catherine's, because a couple of seasons ago, when certain players were not given 100%, they were playing either for St Catherine's and moving to the Robin Hyder Tigers or playing for Bolton B. I think the stability wasn't there because one or two players kept changing around and it kept messing around the team itself. And I think this last 12 months, St Catherine's got a stability. The players are given 100%, turning up, and they've got the same team list itself. I think that the stability is there. I think that's why the game more successful. And one or two good strikers. That guy.
Oh yeah. We all know
that. I can't remember his name now, but he is really good, strong, physical, skillful.
I spoke about him right back in
the
September.
shots he takes from distance.
He looks like
he's like a beast.
Yeah.
He's like a beast, and I
think
think
that the ball, he looks like he's going to score a goal.
He's been scoring goals.
A lot of problems. So what does that mean for who we're supposed to be looking out for? I'm going to tell you who's playing this Sunday. Incidentally, St Catherine's are the team. They're sitting at the top. They didn't play yesterday. They're not playing again this weekend. They're sitting pretty and watching everybody jostle for position right behind them. So the games that are going to be taking place this Sunday, 24th of July, they are AMY will take on Walthamstow Red Star in what we think might be a key game. Ace come back and they'll be taking on Robin Hyder Tigers, which I think will be another interesting game. The Fish Islanders take on Boundary, and I don't want to say too much about you guys down there on your little island, but that's a game I think you can get something out of. I will say no more. Hawk and Eagle will take on Italian, and it will be interesting to see how the young Italians, the small, light, fragile Italians go toe-to-toe with the rough, tumble, knockabout, Hawk and Eagle. Hey, you know what? Let's have a few. Which game do you think We didn't have a game for you this week. This is our first one back, but next week I'm going to have some footage for you. Granted, which game do you think we should go and see? Come on, which game we're going to go and watch, guys? Which one do you think we should bring to the audience?
Well, I think the tasty one for me is going to be the Ace versus Robin Hood Tigers.
There's a bit of history there.
A bit of history there, and I think the players will be up for it. The others, I think we'll probably have certain favourites, but Ace versus Robin Hood Tigers should be a crunch game, basically, for both teams. And I think the rivalry is there, and I think it'll be a key game.
Is that the one for you?
That is a good one for me, but not the one. The one for me to watch is Hawkinigo versus Italian. That's the one. I think you'll see a lot of attractive footballing, a lot of good feet, a lot of nice movements.
From who?
From both teams, honestly, because the Italian FC team, they like to speak in Italian, and we don't understand everything that they say.
Do you think Hawk and Eagle are really beginning to find their feet and emerge now as a proper unit?
I doubt it. I mean, this far down the season, if you haven't found the footing yet, then when will you? I mean, by this time, when you're down there, you can just imagine all hope is probably lost, but you just have to keep your head down and try and finish somewhere respectable.
So what the Italian team needs to do really is just find their composure in front of goal, and they could win this game.
Yeah, as I said, I think because they lack the experience, they're all fairly young. I think all average age is about 17, if not one or two, probably 18. They're young, they're hungry, they lack the experience. They don't have any experienced heads, leadership in the team, but they've got the desire and passion. Hawk and Eagle, to be honest, I'm a bit surprised because I watched the last 3 games, and I see it completely different from the winter. I think this summer they're struggling. I think it's probably, I don't know if it's because of players or different formation or tactics. It's not free flowing as they were in the winter season. They're struggling for form. So I think Italians would fancy this, and I don't think Hawk and Eagle are playing the best football. Hopefully they can turn it around with a break, because obviously after break certain teams seem to galvanise their season, certain teams fall backwards. So we'll see how it plans out.
See how it goes. Italian, this could be your first win of the Summer League season. We look forward to reporting on it next week. Fish Island and Boundary, we'll see what happens. Ace Robin Hood Tigers, it could be you on the show next week, maybe even Amy Walthamstow Red Star. Who knows? We've got more to talk about after this short break. We're going to talk about the Veterans League, which has restarted a new 3G pitch over at Mabley Green. We'll see you after this short break.